Hi, I'm Tim. Welcome to our channel and thanks for logging on. If you enjoy these videos, do me a favor and subscribe to our YouTube channel right here at Watchbox Reviews. I would really appreciate it, and I promise to update daily. If you love this watch, see it and purchase it on our website, thewatchbox.com. Launched in 2009, the Oris ProDiver Chronograph is a leviathan of the deep. Titanium, yes, but at 51 millimeters, it's like wearing a missile sub on your wrist. Incredible wrist presence and functionality. The watch is honest about its purpose. It is a diving instrument. And if you wear this topside for anything more than transition to your sporting activity, it's going to be a bit of an affectation, but a remarkably capable one of superb value, and, I should add, added value, as there's an immense amount of original thinking in this watch. The timepiece, 51 millimeters in diameter, stands a colossal 19.5 above the wrist. It's not going to clear any cuff, but then again, this is more likely to be strapped over a dive suit than under anything. Lug-to-lug, it's big, 56.8 millimeters, but you can see that the lugs are rather stubby and sharply downturned, so even though it's close in size to the 57 millimeter span of an IWC Big Pilot's watch, it wears nothing like a Big Pilot. I can't wear a Big Pilot comfortably. I can wear this. You'll also note that Oris has used a sort of hinge lug system. It's a proprietary junction, but I do like the fact that this large and heavy watch is fixed to its strap using a screw system rather than some sort of spring bar. That's secure and appropriate. It's also highly integrated. As you can see, the taper perfectly matches the swell of the lugs, and the integration is perfect with no daylight showing between strap and case. The strap is nicely decorated, striated and matte finished. It's a handsome piece with just enough definition to break up the mass of rubber, and on the underside a little bit of a hollow to let the wrist breathe, but also to remove material to make the strap more pliant and flexible. The clasp is principally stainless steel, and you can see it's a twin trigger deployant. There's an engine turning on the inside, which is unexpected but appreciated, and you'll also note that there is internally a little push button slider system that lets you make adjustments. You'll also note that the opposite side of the strap has a few scored marks, so you have a guide for cutting to suit if you wish. This is a brand new Oris factory strap, natural vulcanized rubber and vanilla scented, which I happen to love. There's also a minderless system inside the clasp. You can see how there's a little bit of a recession to the buckle. The idea is to tuck the strap under so when it's sized, there's no excess length flapping in the breeze and there's no need for minder loops on the strap. So it's a clean look. That said, the rest of the watch is busy by design. There is a lot going on here. You can see the helium escape valve on the flank. That's for saturation divers. The watch with screw-down crowns as well as screw-down chronograph pushers, water resistant to 1,000 meters. It says so here, and here, and here. The watch is well labeled, right down to the conversion table on the case back for meters and feet. Now, getting back to the bezel, there's a bit of an unusual mechanism here. It's called the rotation safety system, and it requires you to lift the bezel up. It moves about 1 millimeter and engages the grip on the bezel. You can see now, and you can hear the detent, I can move the bezel. The bezel does feature Lume as well as a ceramic insert, so it's highly scratch resistant, but I can move it, and then the second I push the system back into place, the bezel is disengaged. Now I can turn it all I want and nothing is going to move. Remarkably secure, and it does force you to think about using the bezel. Now the bezel is a wonderful way to time anything between 30 minutes and 60 minutes, but less than 60 minutes overall, because you have a chronograph minutes register for 30 minutes, an hours register with the date, and then of course chronograph seconds at center. I was rather impressed by the fact that all of the hour indices here are applique rather than printed. Oris making watches that are an excellent value, but also surprising sometimes with the features. The use of leaf hands for a dive watch is unconventional, but they are broad, easy to view, and there's plenty of lume. You can see there's a little bit of a wave pattern embossed on the dial base to remind you that this watch is really in its elements underneath those waves. Underneath the case back, Valjoux 7750, a good, honest, tank-tough tractor movement. Automatic winding, 44-hour power reserve, 28,800 vibration per hour beat rate, hacking or stop seconds, quick set date, 25 joules, chronograph function, unidirectional winding system, all water resistant down to 1,000 meters. These are true screw-down crowns and chronograph pushers. They are large and easy to manipulate. They give you a wonderful grip such that I can easily imagine operating this chronograph with wet hands, perhaps between dives, just to set the chronograph so I can measure my elapsed time. A watch with tons of functionality, surprising ergonomics, and a no-nonsense attitude about its purpose in life. This is the Oris ProDiver Chronograph. Back with the Oris ProDiver Chronograph, you can see this one is well loomed, and significantly, you have a loomed bezel pearl, as well as a loomed constant seconds dial, so an unconventional look for an unconventional watch. See it and make it yours on the Watchbox.